Yeah, I think our goals and expectations for this year aren't much different from what they have been. You know, I think we focus on making sure we come out here and compete each and every day to be the best lacrosse team we can be, get better every day, grow our team chemistry. We feel like being a very close team on and off the field is important to us. You know, obviously, you know, this team is focused on not only being the best we can, but we feel like if we do that and focus on that and enjoy the process, we'll be in a position to compete for an ODAC championship and an opportunity to compete in the NCAA tournament and win a national championship.
I think we have the same goals every year. We definitely want to win the ODAC. That's the goal every year, and you want to get that home game for the NCAA tournament. And I think we want to win the national championship this year, and we kind of make no bones about that. And we're in a really good position this year. We spent the majority of last year in the top 10, and we returned a ton of talent from that team. So we think that after having a season like that, making it to the second round of the tournament, winning a bunch of huge games, you know, the next step is to go ahead and try and win that national championship.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you always want to be the best team you can be, and I think our biggest team goal here is to win the ODAC championship and have a home field advantage here at Wilson Field to kind of set the stage for, you know, hopefully a great run into the NCAA playoffs and kind of make a statement about this program and say that we're here to stay and, you know, we're not going to go away after just one good season.
You know, after the Lee Jackson game, we felt pretty good about, you know, what we did this fall. You know, we had 6 juniors and, you know, pretty much what we'll project probably to be our starting attack traveling abroad, 1 starting defenseman traveling or studying abroad. I was just really pleased with the way that they attacked the off season in the summer, came into the fall in great shape, and we got better every day. You know, I think every one of those opportunities we had to practice was in the plus column. I think we were tested and put under duress in the Lee Jackson game, particularly in the second quarter. We're a very physical, you know, feisty VMI team. But ultimately, I was pleased with the way our kids showed composure and pulled together. And, you know, I tell you, I kind of left the fall feeling like this group, from a leadership standpoint and from what we're capable of accomplishing this year standpoint, pretty exciting. And an unflappable group who's worked really hard to do all the things necessary to this point anyway.
Preseason's been good. It's been a cold one, but you can't really complain being here in Virginia from New York, so it's a little better than up there, but we're not a NESCAC school, so can't really complain about the snow here and there because they get it all the time, but it's been cold, and especially as a face-off guy, having cold hands is never fun, but you kind of got to live with it. It's been good. A lot of guys getting the opportunity to play, getting the opportunity to see who's going to be who and whatnot. We got some voids to fill from last year's roster, so we're able to, these first couple weeks, we've been able to see who's going to maybe be the next guy, the next Joe LaSalle, the next Fusselbaugh, next Cooper Brown. So we'll see. It's been a good preseason.
The preseason's been great. I think as a team, we've probably been one of the most, if not the most athletic and in shape teams we've had since I've been here. Obviously sticks are a little rusty from the jump, but we're definitely polishing that up a little bit. And I think even though we're a young team, we've had a lot of guys who played really early in their career, so we're pretty experienced. So a lot of the chemistry and a lot of the sort of finer tuning and detail stuff is coming pretty quickly. And when you couple that with being in shape and being an athletic bunch, I think it's been a really good go so far.
Our strengths this season, I think if you look and start at our attack with Cam DeBeer coming back as a junior, Tyler Goldman having a bunch of experience starting as a sophomore last year, he's back. I think that you look at that group, right, there's a lot of experience, there's some young guys there that are very talented. So I think that's one place we're pretty excited about. I think if you look at, you know, our depth at midfield, returning guys like Garrett Pagley, who's All-American, honorable mention as a sophomore, Joe Wood, who was one of our scoring leaders, who's a senior this year, Jack Reuter is a senior, and some young guys really prepared and ready to step up, guys like Jack Clark, Christian Zanettis. you know, I think it's a pretty exciting group there, and I think we'll be at least 2 midfields deep. And I think with some young guys by the end of the season, we could have 3 midfields to run, three midfield groups to run. Defensively, you know, I think that's where you feel like, you know, we got to prove ourselves a little bit. You know, we graduated Joe LaSala and Andrew Fusselbaugh, 2 All-Americans last year, and of course Joe being a leader on this team for so long. You know, I think that our guys are hungry, they understand, and I think they're up for the challenge. But we still will be a little bit younger, and we'll be we may be a little slower to come along. But I really think that with what we do and what our system is, our guys will be right there in short order. Well, you know, we got to feel pretty good about the experience we have coming back in the goal with Warren. Warren's had a great preseason. He's competing at a very high level and really leading this team. You know, even when he's not in the cage, we've been impressed with what he's been doing just around the team in terms of his leadership and his mentoring. But we also are very excited about the competition we have at that position. You know, sophomore Wyatt Devine split time in the Lee Jackson game this fall. And did a great job, performed at a very high level, and he is only getting better every day, and he's right there. And then we have a freshman on the team, Jason Cleary, who's a high school All-American out of Colorado. And you know, I just love the way he plays and the way he comes to practice every day and competes.
We've been really fortunate to have a few young guys step up. I think we've had 3 freshmen in particular that look really good. Jason Cleary, who's a goalie from Colorado. Jonathan Henry is a midfielder from North Carolina. And I've also had Chris Comerford, who's actually from my high school on Long Island, Chaminade. They've all looked really great and really adapted really well and really quickly to the college game. And then we've had, I'd say, 3 sophomores who, I don't want to say they surprised us because they kind of doesn't do justice to the type of talent they have, but they've had really good preseasons as well. Buck Armstrong, Jack Clark, and Christian Zanettis. So I think those 6 have really stood out as young guys that have come along real quick, which is awesome.
2 names that come to mind are Christian Zanettis and Jack Clark. They both really stood out in my mind. Christian is playing some of the best lacrosse I've seen in 2 years, and Jack Clark he's also a face-off guy. 2 midfielders that have just been awesome so far.
Yeah, our out-of-conference schedule is really fun to play. I always like playing WAC, I always like playing Denison. But in conference, it's always fun. Any team you play, you're always going to get their best. It's always a grinded-out type game. Roanoke, Lynchburg, those are always fun to play. There's always a good banter going back and forth. Even in the stands, you hear some of it. So it's always fun to be a part of, fun to play, and yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I think one of the things we try to do is play as competitive a non-conference schedule as we can, and getting us ready for what we feel is, you know, just a tremendously challenging and tough conference schedule. So, you know, we still have some traditional rivalries with Washington College, Franklin, and Marshall. Our game with Denison University has become, you know, something to look forward to on the schedule every year. We've added, you know, Mary Washington and Swanee and Christopher Newport to the schedule, all very talented teams, and 2 of the 3 went to the NCAA tournament last year. So, you know, our goal is to play teams with NCAA experience who are very high-level teams, because we know that, you know, that kind of competition is going to get us ready for a daunting ODAC schedule.